Hey everyone, welcome back to our productivity tips and tricks for Office 365 series number 2. Again, we are with Microsoft Teams and it's video number 2. Today, we're going to be looking at working with your files in Microsoft Teams, how we collaborate with our colleagues on certain files, how we use Office files within Microsoft Teams, how we restore files if they've been deleted, and how we go back and see what we have worked on in that document many weeks or months ago using version history. It's a really cool piece of technology that is within Teams and within Office 2016. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so here I'm going to show you how we can work with files in Microsoft Teams, how we can collaborate with a colleague either internally or externally from our organization, how we go about restoring deleted files, and how we go about restoring previous versions of files. So let's jump into it. We're in our team over here and we're in our channel called Research and Development. I want to go ahead and work on a particular document. So my files load up, I've got my folders, and we've got a performance chart file that I'd like to work on. When we work with files in Teams, we single click on them and they'll by default open up within the Teams viewer. The great part here is when we work with Office documents, your Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and so on, we can actually edit those documents within Microsoft Teams. We don't have to leave the Teams interface. It'll use the online version from Office, and you can do everything in the online version through the browser. You can also do it now through Teams. If you do need the full functionality of your desktop application, all you would do is click the down arrow next to the edit button and say open in desktop app, and that'll launch your desktop application and the file inside it. So I need to edit this file quickly and I want to work on it with Megan because Megan asked me to just check out a few things. So I'm going to edit it. It's going to load up, and what we can see over here is that Megan is also editing this workbook. So Megan is somewhere in this document and she's asked me to just come in here and just make sure that the numbers are correct. So I don't know where she is in the document, so let me click on her name. And it tells me she's editing 046. If I select that, it's going to take me to exactly where she is, and I can actually now see her moving around the document and changing some values. So December was 30. I think she mentioned it needs to go up to $45. So she'll move on from that. That'll then change, and it's changing immediately. You can see that I am over here and I'm moving around the document as well. And I can also make changes. So I can make a change over here. She can still continue and make changes over here. And what we can do is actually work together and understand a problem, get over a challenge, and work in a much, much faster way. The advantage of this is, of course, that she doesn't need to send me the document. I then have to edit it. I then have to send it back to her. She just sends me a link to the document or invites me into the chat, and immediately we can start working together. So you can see that while I'm doing that, obviously the values below are updating and the graphs are changing, and it's working quite well. If we had to open in the desktop app, I would still be able to work with Megan in this document. Now, one of the great features we have here as well is the ability to work with these Office files and restore previous versions. So let's go ahead and actually restore a previous version of this document. So for us to go and restore to a previous version of the document, what we have to do is open up Excel open up the document using our desktop application. So we do that via the purple button over here, and we select the drop down and we say open in desktop app. Teams is going to give us a little notification saying it's opening with the desktop app. This document is now opened from Teams onto my desktop, and I can use the full power of Excel on my desktop. It's going to save back immediately to Microsoft Teams. If I was to work with one of my colleagues in this document, I would still have that exact same functionality through the desktop application. Right, let's go and restore a previous version of the document. So what we would need to do is select File, go to the Info tab, and then down to Version History. When we select that, the version history panel appears on the right-hand side, and we can see the different versions that have been created since the document was first uploaded into Microsoft Teams or created in Teams. We can go ahead and look at the very first version, and we can select it, which will then open it in a side-by-side view where we can do a comparison. Let's give it a sec while it downloads, and there we go. Here's the file that was created in late July, and we can go and view the content in here. We cannot change anything, we can just view. So let's have a look at this side by side with our current document. What we can see here is that the values in the budget spend, of course, are different because we were changing things within there. Earlier, we can see December's 45 over here, and it's 30 over there. Now let's just say we wanted to get back some of this information. Not all of it. If we wanted to restore this previous version, all we have to do is click on restore, and that'll then replace this existing version on the left-hand side with the older version. But let's say we wanted to just take this value across. Well, how do we do that? One way is we can simply go ahead and type in that it needs to be 30 or it needs to be 40 or whatever it is. So let's go and change that to 30. And over here we can see it's 115, and on the one that we currently have, the latest version, it's 90. What we also have the ability to do is to copy and paste. So I can take this entire table, let's copy it, and let's go ahead and replace the data here. There we go. The value has changed, and I can copy and paste between the two different values. It works really, really well, and it allows us to just go ahead and restore or take information from previous versions that allows us to work more effectively, ensuring that we are always working with the correct information. Let's go ahead and close this. And we can go ahead and close this document as well. So now we're back in Microsoft Teams. In order for us to delete a document, or rather to restore a document, what we have to do is click delete. That'll then remove it, and it's gone. Through this view, we cannot restore, unfortunately, so we have to use the Open SharePoint tab for us to go and restore. So let's go and do that. So once we've clicked on the Open in SharePoint button, we're going to get taken to the SharePoint site where this document library exists. As we can see, the file that we had removed from Teams is also removed on SharePoint. For us to go and restore, all we have to do is click on that Open in SharePoint button and go down to Recycle Bin on the left-hand side. When we go into the Recycle Bin, we can restore files that have been deleted. You as a user have up to 60 days to go and restore it yourself from this Recycle Bin. After that period, for an additional 30 days, your administrators can restore that document for you. So let's go and restore. What we can see here is the file, the date it was deleted, who it was deleted by, and where the original location is, or where it's going to be restored to. When we select the document to restore, we cannot change the location that it's going to use to restore the file to. It's going to go back into its original location. So let's go ahead and restore. That file has now been restored. Let's jump back into Teams to see what it looks like. So back in Microsoft Teams, we can see the file is still not here. That's not a problem. What we have to do is just refresh the view that we have. So we hit that refresh button over here, and we should see that JPEG or the PNG appear. And there it is right there. So that's how you can work with your files in Microsoft Teams, how you can restore or grab information from older versions of existing documents, and how you can restore documents or files that have been deleted by you or by your colleagues. I hope you enjoyed this video.